Daisy, and the band director, Deputy Inspector Anderson Charles. They're followed by the first platoon, which is led by Acting Divisional Officer John, Platoon Commander, Assistant Divisional Officer Mabius Francis, and the supernumerary Sub-Officer Albert. The second platoon, of course, is led by Station Officer Prosper, which is made up of recruits. Third platoon, led by Acting Station Officer 434 Joseph. Again, another platoon made up of recruits. And the fourth platoon, led by Assistant Divisional Officer de Turville, Supernumerary Sub-Officer 412 Leon. And to the back, you have the second officer in charge of the platoon, Station Officer Shalry. Of course, you can see the grace and poise being displayed by fire officers today, which is an auspicious occasion for our new staff members who are about to join us. And I can't imagine the perception in the minds as they get ready to serve you, the public. So the parade is awaiting further instruction from Divisional Officer John, who is the parade commander. You've now witnessed the platoon commanders taking the positions to the front of the platoon.
Alright! Justin! In open order! Right! Justin!
What you're about to witness is Supernumerary Sub-Officer 335 Albert, who will be dressing the entire parade from the left-hand side of the parade.
Number 1 platoon! Number 2 platoon! Alphabet! Steady! Number 3 platoon! Alphabet! Steady! Number 4!
ladies and gentlemen, what the supernumerary is looking for is alignment between each platoon.
Number 2 platoon back a bit. Got it. Stand. Stand still. Carrera. Red. Eyes front.
So the supernumerary is pleased that the parade is dressed and ready for further instruction. Proceeding to the parade commander who will be reporting to you, and will be handing over the parade to the Deputy Chief Fire Officer. Wonderful synchronization. It's always a beauty to see how it is that we within the special services are able to be so poised and perform our duties with such excellence. We're now awaiting the national anthem and the hoisting of the national flag. Before the rendition of the national anthem, the Deputy Chief Fire Officer will be handing over the parade to the Acting Chief Fire Officer, Mr. George Victrin, and so we await his arrival. ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing is the raising of flags by the Deputy Chief Fire Officer who's getting ready to hand over the parade to the Chief Fire Officer, the Platoon. I want to also inform the audience that we are
And of course, we now witness the inspection by the Acting Chief Fire Officer, Mr. Victorin. his eyes remain keen as he attempts to spot out the outstanding individuals who have gone above and beyond in terms of ensuring that their turnout is on point here this afternoon.
Of course, upon the completion of the inspection of the parade, I want to take the opportunity to commend my colleagues this afternoon, from the flag bearers to the various persons in all 4 platoons. I want to say congratulations to you this afternoon. You guys look amazing. You look good. Zogade philosophe après-midi. Zogade bon. And so it's always, I love parades and I love to see when the effort is made to get those shoes shining and those uniforms looking spick and span. And so I feel warranted to say congratulations to you this afternoon. You're now witnessing what we call the fallout of the platoon commanders. And you're also seeing the second officer in charge of the parade taking command to the front. And again, waiting instruction from the parade commander.
That deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to make an apology this afternoon for the non-appearance of the Minister for the Department of Public Service and Home Affairs and the tardiness of the permanent secretaries of these two ministries. They will be joining us a bit later, and so we await their arrival. In the meantime, we sort of missed out on a certain aspect of the program, and we're asking the parade commander to await as we attempt to do this. And so we want to welcome everyone here this afternoon. We were hoping that the parade would have given us an opportunity to do that before we went into the actual marching off. Mikud, the community of Mikud. Thank you, sir. So Mikud, we want to thank you this afternoon for hosting us in your community. The Mikud Constituency Council, the Mikud Youth and Sports Council. I'm also told that the Mikud Football Association was also strategic in assisting in what is happening here this afternoon. So encore Mikud nous voulons dire merci pour manière où vous suivez nous après-midi. Service Defense Saint-Lucie, Monsieur Victorine, Chief Fire Officer, et puis tous les autres rangs, chef de défense Saint-Lucie. Nous avons remercié après-midi, et puis nous voulons essayer de montrer à différents sides, service de défense Saint-Lucie. Nous avons quoi qui, ça après-midi, qui porte au Jerwité, et puis nous apprendre à Charlotte à qui ça nous a fait, là il venait pour situation sous coup, si c'est maladie, un peu de fièvre, un peu comme ça, ou qu'on comprend. Et puis, là, nous finissons après-midi, ou qu'on a différentes manières pour garder ça, service de fait Saint-Lucie, qu'a fait by Saint-Lucie. Et puis, ça, nous allons retourner, et puis nous allons demander le parade commander pour continuer, et puis ça, qu'a fait.
you know.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the poise and precision being displayed by fire officers this afternoon. It's like a draftsman who has laid his paper down and precision, making sure that everything is aligned. Shoes are shining, uniforms well ironed. Proud heads and eyes looking forward.
And as we become a bit more comfortable, we'll move away from the paramilitary aspect of things. Please bear with us. I now seek to establish protocol. Mr. Jeremiah Nobbert, parliamentary representative for Mikud North. Mr. Ricky Quinlan, deputy permanent secretary, Department of Home Affairs. Mrs. Cressida Descat Pelius, Commissioner of Police, acting. Mr. George Victorin, Chief Fire Officer, acting. Mr. Verden Gad, Director of Corrections. Mr. Kennedy Francis, Chief of Port Police. Ms. Maria Medad, Director, National Emergency Management Office. Mr. Ditney Downs, Deputy Officer, acting. Mr. Leonard Terrence, Deputy Director of Corrections. Mrs. Yolanda Jules Louis, Director and Parole Services. Mrs. Jenny Joseph, Director, Gender Affairs. Mrs. Sarah Dupree Cotter, Administrative Officer, Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Mrs. Fern Donnelly, the Principal of the Mikud Primary School. Mrs. Julia Augustine Shalry, Chairperson of the Mikud Council, Mr. Elisha Nubbert, Chairperson Mikud Constituency Council, Mr. Shaka George, Manager Mikud Football Council, parents, firefighters, invited guests, well-wishers, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time out to gather here this afternoon to be a part of this momentous, auspicious occasion. At this time, we would be so grateful if you indulge by standing as we have our opening prayer. And to do the opening prayer, we call on Pastor Antoine Charles to bless us at this time.
Good afternoon to all. I said good afternoon. Oh, I sleep. We're going to look to the Lord in prayer this moment as we recognize and acknowledge that the fact that we are here is simply because God blessed us with life. Therefore, we come in this gathering to witness and celebrate with these young people who have decided to thrust themselves in one of the most difficult assignment the nation has, and it is as a firefighter. And I realize it is not just firefighting, but the fight to save life as well. So let us look to the Lord in prayer. Our Father, we are indeed grateful to you today that you have spared our lives to be here. Thank you, O God, that you watched over us even as we drove, and even those who walked to be here today. We thank you that you have taken us on this journey safely. And now, O God, as we invoke your holy presence in our midst, for we know that nothing can be successful unless your presence is with us. So I thank you today. I pray, O God, particularly for those who are about to be thrusted in this difficult assignment. Thank you, O God, for the journey of studies as they prepare and equip themselves, O God, for the task ahead. I pray in Jesus' name, Lord, that everything that they studied and learnt, that, oh God, they will now be able to flesh it out in reality. And as, oh God, they put their lives on the line, oh God, in order to save lives, I pray, Father, that at all times your holy presence will be with them to guide. Pray, God, that you will protect them day in, day out, and that, oh Father, you continue to use them as they undertake such a difficult journey. Be with them, oh God, and protect them. Protect them. So I pray, oh God, for not just them, but Lord, the whole leadership of this fire department, oh God. I pray that you give unto them the requisite wisdom and everything that they need, oh God, to perform their duties and to give leadership, oh God, to those who are under their wings. So thank you, Father. Bless them. And I pray, oh God, for a successful ceremony today. And oh God, at the end, we'll be able to say thank you for the good weather. Thank you that everything goes well. Thank you for all those who will be graduating today. And we say thank you. You are God. And as God, you are in charge. And we commit everything and everyone in your care today. We say thanks. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor Charles, for blessings. Blessings not just for today, and touched on everything, the weather, the accommodation, fire service. We're having a bit of a trouble with our microphone this afternoon. As we await the technician and to correct that issue, let me ask recruit firefighter Brent Joseph to come forward as he would be reciting the firefighter's prayer for us this afternoon. Brent Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to stand as Mr. Joseph is about to recite the firefighter's prayer.
When I am called to duty, God, whenever flames may rage, give me the strength to save some lives, whatever beats age. Help me to embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and to hear the weakest shouts, and quickly and efficiently my children and my spouse. I want to emphasize the fact that today is really about our recruit firefighters, and I'm deliberately saying recruit firefighters because they have not gone through what we call a guard of honor, but they will be recognized as actual firefighters. We're having a bit of a technicality with our microphone this afternoon, and so I apologize. I'm caught between coming forward to project my voice. I was speaking in the microphone for the camera. So I'm waiting instructions from the technician. I'm really hoping that this is rectified and it's less.
As the camera might be. Whatever they say, it goes straight into the camera. If you want to continue, that's fine. Whatever it says, it goes straight into the mic. It will be recorded. So that's just to see the production of his voice, so you will be hearing. The whole nation will be there. Only one Thank you.
One, testing. One. One. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We're hoping seeds smooth from on. Still a bit of a challenge. But I wanted to focus on the fact that today is a special day for new members. And I may be referring to you as recruit firefighters at the moment, as I said earlier. And that is because you have not gone through what we call a guard of honor, which would recognize you as official firefighters. And so today is about you. And even in my effort to dress, I attempted to dress in similar colors as you to recognize you and to let you know that from the MCs to the senior colleagues who are here with me this afternoon, to senior management, our focus will be on ensuring that today is a memorable day for you and that you can look on yesterday, remember it, enjoy today, and focus on tomorrow as you begin your journey of firefighting and emergency medical services. At this time, I would like to call on the Chief Fire Officer, Acting, Mr. George Victorin, who will be addressing today's audience.
have a testing. We have a protocol list, but most of the persons are not in now, so I will try to say it by memory to see who's there. So I will start with Deputy Chief Fire Officer Acting, Mr. Dignitary. Retired Chief Fire Officer, Mr. Joseph. Retired Commissioner of Police, Mr. Osbert Regis. Senior officers of the St. Lucia Fire Service. Senior officers of the police force. Other invited guests, good afternoon. I want to start by congratulating all our graduates on successfully completing your initial recruit training program. Your hard work, dedication, perseverance, and discipline has certainly paid off. You are the cream of the crop of more than 400 applicants who submitted applications and were considered for the position of firefighter within the St. Lucia Fire Service. You being here today is testimony of your ambition, determination, hard work, and commitment. I know many of you doubted yourself along the process. I know you heard many stories about the difficulty of the training, even before going to training school. But the only reason you are selected in the first place is because upon assessment, you are deemed to possess all the attributes to successfully complete the training curriculum. These attributes include, but not limited to, your academic qualification, your medical and physical fitness, your discipline and character. So we're extremely confident that you had what it required to successfully complete the training. I know your instructors pounded this advice in your head on several occasions, but please permit me to remind you that the lessons learned at training school was not just for training training school life. It also allows you to perform effectively as firefighters throughout your career in the fire department. So please keep them close to your heart, follow them closely, and I guarantee you that it will keep you in good stead, not just in the fire department, but also in life generally. To the parents, especially the mom, guardians, and loved ones, thank you for entrusting your children to us. I'm sure you've seen the transformation since allowing them to take that bold decision to serve as firefighters. Their physical stature, level of maturity, and decision-making and boldness have certainly improved. As parents, it can be sometimes difficult to let go, but please recognize that they are now full-fledged firefighters, and as such, they will be required to serve our citizenry, sometimes under the most trying conditions, such as during disasters, whether it's hurricane, other weather events, or mass casualty incidents where there are multiple victims who are critically injured. Please provide them with the necessary support so that they can adequately serve St. Lucia. Please don't encourage them to stay home and not report for duty because it is raining too heavily. To the instructors, the management and staff of the St. Lucia Fire Service owe you a huge debt of gratitude. Maybe some of us who have not served as instructors at training school may not fully appreciate your hard work, sacrifice, and commitment. Most of you had to take leave of absence from your family for the duration of the training program. Your active instruction time usually starts at 5 in the morning and would extend well beyond past 5 in the evening. This, though, does not include the occasional night drills or assisting those who require remedial work to measure up to the required standards. And then, of course, you had to prepare for the following day's program. Yet, you embrace this mammoth responsibility with great vigor and enthusiasm, not once complaining in spite of not being blessed with the most favorable conditions. Maybe this is testimony in part to the diligent management of your training officer, Station Officer Nimrod Prosper, ably assisted by Officer of the Southern Division, Mr. Anwadi Turville, who were able to inspire and keep you motivated throughout the program. It would be therefore remiss of me if I didn't recognize you individually by name for your stellar efforts and unwavering commitment to developing our candidates. So please stand as I call your names. Station Officer Francis Joseph, Sub-Officer Kaiser Hippolyte, Leading Firefighter Sylvia's George, Leading Firefighter Denver Chico, Firefighters Theosia Augustine and Sheria St. Rose. And of course, not forgetting Miss Shauna Ogis. I did call Craig Joseph, didn't I? My apologies. I guarantee you, I assure you that I have you on the list. My apologies. How can I forget you? On behalf of the fire department, thank you so much. We also want to say special thanks to Divisional Officer Mr. David Antoine and Marius Charles, who started the whole recruitment and selection process of what now seems to be a long time ago. You had to sift through hundreds of applications to arrive at the present cohort who are the best fit for the job. To the entire admin staff, including our accountant, Mrs. Alison Louisi, stores manager, Mr. Kim Charles and Mr. Frederick, the organizing committee, especially Mr. McPhee and Ms. Cecilia Combs, as well as our human resource officer, Ms. Pierre-Louis. Your contribution cannot be underestimated. Special mention must also be made of Acting Deputy Fire Chief Officer Ditney Downs. You are very hands-on in directing and assisting the training team in upgrading and executing the training program. In fact, you have been the main architect in modernizing the training ethos of the fire service over the last decade, both in terms of your strategic vision and your tactical nous in evaluating our training academy and the quality of training delivery to one of the best in the Caribbean. I also want to express my appreciation to our Parrot Ministry of Home Affairs under the guidance of Dr. Elizabeth Bailey and Mr. Quinlan for your guidance and support for the department. But let's not forget that the event today is mainly about our recruits. So in closing, I want to once again congratulate them on their achievement, and I wish them a long and successful career in the fire department. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Chief Fire Officer, Acting, Mr. Victorin. We are indeed grateful for you highlighting those who have worked assiduously in ensuring the preparation of our graduates here today. Permit me to recognize a few more individuals who are present here with us. First off, Ms. Jenny Daniel, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs. This lady has been a pillar of support to the fire department, especially during the whole COVID pandemic, and we are indeed grateful that she can be present with us here this afternoon and be part of the ceremony. Thank you so very much, Ms. Jenny Daniel. Also, Mr. Joseph, our former Chief Fire Officer. He is present here this afternoon, and so we are grateful for your presence. Former Divisional Officer, Mr. Ronald Pellius. So welcome and thank you for joining us. And the former Commissioner of Police, in the person of Mr. Osbert Regis. Again, welcome and thanks for joining us. Moving right along, it would be remiss of us not to share with you some of the moments of the training period. Some of the highlights and of course some of the bittersweet moments that made discourse what it really was. And no one is better placed to give you such information than the training officer himself, who would like to invite to the podium at this time, Station Officer Prosper.
A pleasant good afternoon to all. I sat there listening to Mr. Victorin give his speech, and I was wondering if he had hacked my laptop. Permit me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate with and to congratulate the graduates of Recruit Initial Course number 1 of 2022. But I would really like to thank the training staff first for the exceptional job that they had done throughout the 11 weeks to prepare this course for this moment. Mr. Francis Joseph, the Chief Instructor, Mr. Kaiser Hippolyte, and Mr. Gaetian George, the Senior Instructors, Mr. Denver Chico, Mr. Craig Joseph, Miss Cheria St. Rose, and Miss Theosia Augustine, the Junior Instructors, Miss Shona Ogis, our clerk. Thank you so much for the hard work that you to put in to ensure that the recruits were well trained. I also like to thank the emergency medical technician instructors who they helped pioneer the first online emergency medical technician course to ensure that the recruits became highly trained in EMS and to meet the demands of our citizens despite the challenges of COVID-19. Mr. Irenas Henry, Mr. Ovin Jabatis, Mr. Randy Mitchell, Mr. Krishnan Alexander, Mr. Hannes Paul, Mr. Nigel Augustine, Ms. Cherubin, Ms. Albina Cherubin, sorry, Ms. Hervian Henry, Mr. Dwayne Ferdinand. My gratitude to you for taking the time from your busy lives and dedicating it to these recruits to make sure that they are highly trained and ready to face the challenges out there in the field of work. To all the instructors, your dedication to these recruits and the fire department, it has been unbelievable, and you are very valuable to the department. I would also like to thank our cooks for the dishes that they were able to prepare for the instructors and the recruits. Despite so many challenges in getting the ingredients to prepare these meals. Ms. Shelley Fanas, Ms. Shinika Klense, Ms. Althea DeRose, Mrs. Valerie Holder-Smith, and Ms. Shanti Ale. Thank you so much. Now, to the graduates. Congratulations. Now, unlike Mr. Felix, I will call you all firefighters. You are now firefighters in the Sanctuary Fire Service. That's a title that you have earned. No one gave it to you. You earned it through a lot of pain, a lot of sweat, a lot of agony, a lot of determination, and a lot of believing in yourselves. You were placed through a training process that at times push you to your limits physically, mentally, spiritually, and even spiritually at times. You succeeded, and you should feel good about it. Okay. You had to push through intense physical training every morning. PT started at 500 hours. After you had your PT, you had to do fatigue, so you had to ensure that your living spaces were clean, and you also had to make sure that your uniforms were impeccable for inspections. After inspection, you had intense core drill sessions, which you then had to muster strength and energy, also concentration to learn the theory of firefighting. After that, you had your lunch, and then you got ready for intense firefighting drills in your hot, cumbersome PPE. Right? Your day did not even end there, because you had to schedule time to study your weekly exam for your weekly exams that you had to attain a passing grade of 70%. I'm pleased to report that your course ended with a class average of 81.8%. Still, you had to prepare your uniform. Your day wasn't ended yet. You had to prepare your uniforms for the following day, and you also had to respond to numerous alarms throughout the evenings. Your days were long, and your nights were short. I watched as you slowly divorced yourself from civilian life to become well-trained firefighters. I must say, it was somewhat comical at times to watch some of you try to do push-ups and other exercises under severe pressure, not really understanding what was happening in the moment. Right, Alexander? However, over the next 11 weeks of intense physical training, the instructors, they started to see that the transformation you were making from civilian to firefighter. I also recognized that you were developing bonds between each other to help you get through the rigors of recruit training. You should continue to nurture these bonds, because getting our job done safely requires a team effort, and the foundation of an effective team is positive relationship among its members. While it is certainly possible to be a great team without developing personal relationships with your co-workers, having a bond and forming a trusting relationship with them is incredibly beneficial. Trust is significantly important when it comes to firefighting, because you are trusting your teammate with your life and your safety in the line of duty. So continue to nurture these bonds. Last year, on December 8th, 2021, 49 of you, or 49 individuals, I should say, walked through the doors of the St. Lucia Fire Service Training School, not knowing what to expect. However, today, 40 of you have proven yourselves to be worthy of being called a St. Lucia Fire Service firefighter. There are some who started with you, but they lack the perseverance and determination needed to endure to the end. But not you. Today you are here. I want to encourage you, don't lose sight of what you have accomplished over the last 11 weeks. Don't lose sight of what it means to be a St. Lucia Fire Service firefighter. Don't forget all the conversations you had with your instructors about the 3 values. What are they? Honesty, integrity, and pride. That's right. Honesty, integrity, and pride. These values, these are the values that will not only make you a better firefighter, but they'll make you a better person and a better citizen. Stay true to these values. They will serve you well. If you can make it out there through recruit training when it was difficult, you will make it out there when it gets difficult. And as Mr. Vitrin said, it will get difficult. If there's one thing that COVID-19 taught us, is that as first responders, we have to remain resilient and adaptive in the face of rising stress and uncertainty. I want you to remember that you will always have the training to fall back on. You'll always have your training to fall back on. You are the future of the fire service. So I want you to lay the foundation for what is it you want to see happen in the department tomorrow. I want to leave you with this, that's fine. Be disciplined. Get to work on time. Check your equipment properly. Make your bed. Be ready to train and learn. And pay attention to the little things. For the little things are more important than you think. It is out of the little things that we can make big things happen. And on behalf of the St. Lucia Fire Service and the citizens of St. Lucia, I want to thank you for the sacrifice that you have made to serve. Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Prosper, for allowing us to get an insight on what transpired at training school. the professionalism, the dedication, the hard work, and the commitment that comes forward with being a firefighter. You know, I remember my graduation ceremony, and afterward becoming a firefighter, and I watched other graduation ceremonies. And I wondered whether we would be able to commence a culture of pranking our new recruits on the first day on the job. Sadly, those recruits who are with us today are not first-time comers. They've worked with us prior to this graduation ceremony. And the thought still remains as to whether, as senior firefighters, whether it is that we can commence this culture. So on the first day of work, that we would be able to prank our new colleagues. So, you know, some innovative ideas would work, whatever it is that you have, colleagues, whatever you have up your sleeves, you think that would be, you know, innovative, nice, and welcoming. Nothing to get them offended, but I'd love to see us commence such a culture. Again, congratulations on your hard work, your dedication, colleagues. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce to you this afternoon's feature speaker. And I attempted due diligence in doing some research to ensure that I represented his profile properly. And so what I discovered was I would not be able to sit here this afternoon, or stand rather, and present a full profile on today's feature speaker. And so I did my best to condense the information that I received, and I will present to you what I think represents a major aspect of his career and his experiences. So today's feature speaker began his career as a qualified teacher and later joined the Royal St. Lucia Police Force on August 2nd, 1983. He opted for a change in career, notwithstanding that at the time when he joined the police force, he was to receive less remuneration than that of a qualified teacher. Between August 2nd, 1983 and January 1st, 2004, he was promoted from a cadet officer through several positions in the police force, including officer in charge of the Police Training Academy, officer in charge of Central Police Station, officer in charge of Research and Development. After his promotion to the rank of Assistant Superintendent, he was seconded to the Regional Security Systems Central Office in Barbados from January 12, 1993 to July 9, 1993. He also served as the Assistant Staff Officer with responsibility for training and plans to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and the officer in charge of the Special Services Unit. As a confirmed superintendent, he was a divisional officer with responsibility for the Northern Division of Dennery, Lacaille, now Richford, Marigot Ancillary and Canaries Police Stations, now referred to as MAC Police, Central Police Station, and the Grosley Police Station. In his pursuit for excellence, he subsequently served as the assistant to the Commissioner of Police in Operations, Crime, Training, and Community Policing. In April 2003, he was appointed acting Commissioner of Police, and on December 30th, 2003, he was appointed Commissioner of Police with effect from January 1st, 2004. During his tenure of serving the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, he attended several training courses locally, regionally, and internationally, which included training in arson detection, natural disasters, counter-terrorism, and he in turn provided training both locally and regionally, a vocation which he is still very much committed to. Prior to the culmination of his service and dedication as Commissioner of Police, the now, my apologies, established go-getter and success-oriented gentleman was ascended to the post of Director of Special Initiatives in the Prime Minister's office. In his new role, he would serve as the Security Chief Advisor and a Special Advisor to the Prime Minister on matters of crime and national security through a task force which was to be chaired by the Prime Minister. With such an illustrious career and renowned cadre of experiences, this distinguished gentleman and gentle giant, as you will see when he dwarfs me momentarily, a true son of the soil, the very definition of patriotism, continues to give of himself beyond the various capacities in which he served, currently conducting many different types of training as a certified instructor of the Pan American Health Organization on the NEMO, both locally and regionally. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the podium with applause, Mr. Osbert Regis.
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. And perhaps my most important title he didn't mention, that is farmer. I want to recognize the various officials who are here, and at the pain of missing out, I will just mention the Chief Fire Officer, the Deputy, other senior officers of the St. Lucia Fire and Emergency Services, senior officers from the police force, most importantly the recruits. I will still call you recruits until you have walked out of this parade ground, and then I'll call you something else. But I just want to share with you some thoughts. I don't have a long speech for you, although I think I'm a little too far away from you. But I just want to share some thoughts with you from my heart. Now, so you have made it. You are here. You are graduating. Congratulations. Now, before I go any further, those of you who have, especially the members of the fire service, who have had the privilege of attending programs with me, you know my style, and sometimes it can be a little unorthodox. So, let me start with my madness. So, when you would have secured your job, when you would want to join other colleagues in criticizing the management of the St. Lucia Fire Service and accuse them of making bad decisions, I want you to remember that they chose you. They chose you. You are here because they chose you. Now you will determine whether them choosing you was a good decision or a bad one. So, I want you to remember that. When you say these fools, remember, they hired you, huh? Okay. I want to ask the question, why are you here? Why are you here? Are you here because you just wanted a job? Are you here because you like the uniform? Why are you here? And that is something that I want you to ponder on, not just today, but for the rest of your career. Now, in today's society, especially in our country, most of us believe that doing anything short of ordinary is a waste of time. But there are a few exceptions among us. And I think the St. Lucia Fire Service and Fire and Emergency Services is one such exception, where ordinary is not the norm. And that is because of the tremendous responsibility that you have. I believe that the public looks to you, looks to the fire service with a specific purpose and expects you to be competent, professional, and live by the firefighter's standard. You do not only deal with fires, but you deal with emergency services, which means that the very lives of every single person in our country may depend on you. When you make that ambulance call, when there is a critical accident or incident, you might be the difference between life and death. So you can't afford to be ordinary. Ordinary will not cut it. Professionalism, commitment, competence might be the difference between life and death. Your oath of service demands that of each one of you to be competent, to be professional at all times. At all times. Not just sometimes, but at all times. Because the very next call might be to a loved one. And we have seen this in the past, where fire officers have responded to incidents where they have to treat their very loved ones. You cannot be competent for some and mediocre for the rest. So you have to be competent at all times. At all times. We talk about a fireman or a firefighter's standard. I'm not talking about the code of conduct and all of this. You've had enough of that. I am talking about that standard that you would need throughout your career. And I would like to propose that there are two main parts of that standard. One being the citizens, and the other being the brotherhood and sisterhood within the fire service. The citizens are the reason why you exist. If there were no citizens, there would be no job for you. And remember that. They are the reasons why you exist. And the other, without that brotherhood and sisterhood, you cannot succeed. You cannot succeed. I will come back to both of them in a while, but just to say, these represent two of the foundations of your standard. As public servants, we must be citizen-focused. It is about the citizens. So when you hear that ambulance call, but that's why you're here. It is for the citizens. They are your mission. Now I almost said our, because some of you may not know, a lot of you may not know, that when the fire service was formed in 1974, the fire chief at the time, Mr. Macpherson from Guyana, he established the auxiliary fire service, which was a volunteer thing at the time. I don't know if they're paying them now, but in my time, it was voluntary. And I did that for almost a decade. So I still consider myself part of the fire service. So if I say we, I am just being a little, what we would say, edisque, and still think I am part of it, because my heart is still part of it. Good enough is not good enough. It's not good enough. It has to be excellent. There has to be that pursuit of excellence at all times. We must strive for perfection. Perfection. And perfection in little things. I heard your instructor say, don't forget the little things. It is said that the devil is in the detail. And it is the little things that will mash you up, because they're the ones that you will not see. They're the ones that are not obvious. But we need to be perfect or strive for perfection. And does it gas up? No, not in that profession where lives depend on your very action. You must maintain the confidence that the citizenry have in the St. Lucia Fire and Emergency Services. They hold, a lot of citizens hold the department in high regard. I would venture to say, in all of the uniform groups within the protective services, the fire service is held to the highest of regard by the citizenry. They hold you in very high regard. How good do they think you are? How good do they think you are? They think you are very good. But the question is, how good are you? How good are you? How good are you going to be as new firefighters? Are you going to be an asset to the department, or are you going to be a liability? You need to help maintain the integrity of the department. You would hardly find persons giving the fire service a lot of negativity. Of course you will find that, because we have all types of persons in the society. We have reached a stage right now. We have moved away from when there are accidents where we do what is known as scoop and run. When there is an accident, you take somebody, I don't know what kind of medical theory we have, but somebody will say, muyay, 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 and put that person at the back of anything and run with them. Because of the standards that have been established by the fire service, people now demand, do not touch the person. The fire service, the ambulance is on its way. That is the kind of standard that you have set for yourself, the fire service department. You will maintain that, or you should get out. The leaders are there. Do not carry liability in such a critical department. So you have big shoes to fill, very big shoes. Now, when we talk about, so the citizenry, as I've said, is our main focus, our mission. But how do you achieve that mission? You need to depend on the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Because this job is not about you. It is not about you. It's about us. It's about the team. And I'm not talking TIM. Because some of us, when we talk about, yeah man, I'm part of a team, all they mean is TIM, because they're not assisting and they're not helping. And all they're doing is create more problems for the rest of the so-called team. So, I want you to understand that to be part of that brotherhood and sisterhood, you must be willing to invest in each other's success. You have to be willing to be part of the department's success. You have to do what it takes. Now, that is easier said than done. I am happy that you have senior people there with you on the ground, because some of your greatest challenges, some of your greatest support will come from them. They're the ones who are going to support you, but they're the ones who may attempt to take you down. Let me share a personal experience. When I left police training school, I had my first shift at Central Police Station was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I was placed on the beat, I remember beat 3, with a very senior constable. First thing he told me, we were patrolling from 10, 11, 12, 1, going into 2. And he told me, Garima, I'm recruit. Moi, who just been ici. Moi, halas. C'est pas rien ici. So, si vous voulez continuer. Moi, guy cool out, he had a little batchy in the back of eye. Il va venir avec moi. I said, non, garçon, moi, just been ici. Oui, fais ça, vous voulez. Pas moi, garçon, pas moi. C'est beaucoup ça, pour moi, de c'est pas moi, yo vle ba yo, ma tu comment. So I told him, okay, boss. When he retired as an ex-corporal, because he had been promoted to corporal and demoted back to constable, I was a superintendent in charge of Northern Division. Moi, dis garçon, ça bon, ouais, m'a pour advice, man. Et mon boss, garçon, still cash on by ça. So, when you walked in to join the fire service, you came alone for various reasons. Do not be distracted by people who have had their own issues with the system. Do not follow negativity. The first thing you have to ask yourself, boy, if he is so good, why he still where he is? Huh? Call the advisor, Mr. Gabamo. Dismiss it. Because they will try to sometimes take you down. Sometimes they will try to take you down. Do not try to gain social acceptance by doing what is unprofessional. There is never the right time to do a wrong thing, and never a wrong time to do what is right. You all know what is right. Do it and continue to do it. But on the positive side, this is the brotherhood and sisterhood that is supposed to help you up. Help you up when you are down. Don't blame, assist. Don't point fingers, assist. We have to, you are as good as your partner think you are. And you are as good as you are to your partner. Even if you walk around and you say, and everybody else thinks you are an idiot, so are you. Because it is about team. The bonds that you form at training school will live with you for the rest of your career, regardless what rank you get. Nurture those bonds. Nurture those bonds because they are the foundations of your career. I want you to also consider, apart from the brotherhood, the issue of accountability. As probationers, and when you walk out of the parade ground, you will move from recruit to probationer for the next 2 years. You should have very little free time on your hands because every day should be a training day for a probationer. You have much to learn. You don't know much. There's an old saying when we were at training school and even when I was the commandant that a recruit is a foolish person. So you know just enough to earn your salary now, but you don't know nothing yet. The learning starts out there. They have given you some knowledge in what you are going to do. So, for the next 2 years, you should be training every day. You should go back to your manuals, go back to the equipment, read it, familiarize yourselves with it, re-familiarize yourselves with it. You should, your attitude, your spirit, your enthusiasm should be on point every day for the next 2 years, and indeed for the rest of your career. But I'm hoping the fire chief, the deputy fire chief, and the other senior officers will hold you accountable. And if at the end of your probationary period you have become a liability to the fire service, get rid of you. It will cost them more to keep an incompetent, unprofessional firefighter than it is to get rid of you. Because I believe that if you cannot be an asset, if you cannot continue to be an asset within the first 2 years of your career, then you will be useless for the rest of your career. At least that's my view and my experience. It is said that you can almost know how somebody will turn out throughout their career by their performance at training school. At training school, you are supposed to be sharp. But if you are blunt when you are supposed to be the sharpest, when you will get blunt, then balfini. I want to take the time to admonish and to exhort and your firefighters, your brothers and sisters, please do not become the people that you criticized when you were in their position. I have always said, you know, when you were down there, you always called them jackasses at the headquarters until you become one yourself, because you have young people calling you the same thing. So, encourage them, nurture them. I have seen persons say, I don't know what they're teaching the recruits at training school these days, you know, both police and fire. Them fellas, they know nothing. Well, teach them. Teach them what you want them to know. Teach them how you want them to know it. And if you cannot teach them, shut up and let them do it. Because we have no time for negativity. Negativity does not encourage growth. It encourages destruction. Destruction. You must listen and you must learn. Experience cannot be short-circuited. I don't care if you go in a book or if you advance yourself academically, experience cannot be short-circuited. And you need to respect persons who have gone before you and they have the experience. Do not be what in some circles, both in fire service and the police, they call 611, 622. You are 6 months service, you are 6 years service, and you want to behave as if you are 22 years service. Recognize you have to be big enough to know how small you are. And learn. That is the only way you will grow. If you do not learn, you will not grow. And we do not want a 13, 15-year-old midget firefighter. Midget not necessarily with your physical structure, but in terms of you are a mental midget because you have not grown. So we don't want that. We have a good thing going in the fire service. Don't come and mess it up. Don't come and mess it up. If that is what you're doing, give the people back their cap and go home. Yes, go home. Yes, find something less problematic to engage yourself in. Don't be, pardon my French, don't be stupid. It's all right not to be ignorant. Ignorance can be dealt with by knowledge, acquisition of knowledge. Stupidity has no cure. Yes? Don't be stupid. Don't be lazy. Don't be complacent. Be ready. Be ready. Now, in one of the speakers before me spoke about you may sometimes have to give up your life. Sometimes it is necessary because in the pursuit of your duty, it may be necessary to put your life on the line. And in your fireman's prayer, you have already asked God to take care of your spouse and kids if that happens. Yes? Don't pray to God if you don't mean what you say, you know. Because you have already asked him to do certain things in your prayer. But sometimes it may be necessary. As difficult and as painful as it is. That's not okay, but that is understandable. What is not acceptable is unnecessary death, unnecessary injury. Because of your laziness, because of your carelessness, you didn't check your equipment, because of silly things like not wearing your seatbelt and you get involved in a crash. Even if you're right, but you're also dead. Unnecessary death because you did not service your equipment. Unnecessary death because you didn't do a proper size up. Unnecessary injury or death because you did not wear your PPE properly. Unnecessary death because all day you go and run your minibus or go to your farm or go and do other things, and you come to work tired and then you crash. These things are unnecessary, and may God have mercy on your soul if you cause the death and injury of another colleague. So, be ready, be professional, maintain the standards. Now, your reputation is also important. It was said that most of you have worked before. So members of the fire service know who you are and also know what you are. And some of them might be saying, so your reputation would have preceded you. And let me say this to the ladies. Let me say to the ladies, maintain your standards, maintain your reputation. Men in uniform are a special kind of breed. Do not fall victim to that kind of predator breed. Maintain your reputation, your virtue, and your respect at all times. And I'm also warning those persons who figure out that you've come there all kind of, how do we call them? You know, and look at the young persons there and say, hey, so I got it correct? We do, don't we? Maintain your standard. And if anybody is inappropriate, report them. And if the person you report them to does not support what you do, report them too. We have to stop this foolishness because we have to live like brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters at all times. So, your reputation is important. Let me speak to the family. You recruits, You are here because your family have supported you. Some of you were unemployed adults before coming to training school. They supported you. Now it's your time to support them. Support your family. One of the things that always struck me was when I was in the force and at training school and up in the ranks. As soon as they can get a loan in the credit union, they want a motwaka. They have not even changed the mattress that they pissed on when they were growing up. But they want a car. They want that sort of thing. Invest in yourselves, invest in your family, support them because they supported you at this time, and they will continue to support you. The fire chief spoke about not encouraging you to report sick. When there's work to be done, you have to go to a party, and reporting sick and calling illness on yourselves. God listens, you know. God listens. Don't call and say you were sick. You might just be sick at a time inconvenient to you. But family, support them. We know you worry about them. Pray for them. I knew that I had a mother who prayed more for her children than for herself. Continue to lift them up. They need that support. And as the fire chief says, you have entrusted them to the fire service, to the chief fire officer. If things are not going well, you make an intervention to him about my loved one. So you need to support, continue to support them. But conversely, do not ignore your family for the first cut or the first pair of trousers that you see. Continue that support. That is where the blessing comes from. But I have said quite a lot, and maybe even too much. Let me close by saying the best advice I can give you is never forget why you are here. Do not forget why you are here. You are here to assist the citizens of this country, your fellow officers, and your family. So, please make them proud. Thank you.
With a bit of humor, some inspiration, some words of caution, and some even firmer admonition. That was the former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Osmond Regis. Once again, a round of applause for Mr. Regis. Your words have not gone unheard, sir. And if you may allow me to sum it up in two of the sentences that you used during your presentation, I think it can be simply said that ordinary will not cut it, and it's not about you, it's about all of us. At this time, we wish to welcome to the podium the Deputy Permanent Secretary of Home Affairs, Mr. Ricky Quinlan, to deliver some brief remarks. Mr. Quinlan.
Thank you very much, sir. I wish to acknowledge the presence of our parliamentary representative for Miku North, Honorable Mr. Jeremiah Norbert, Acting Fire Chief Mr. George Victorin, Acting Deputy Fire Chief Mr. Dignitary Downs, former Fire Chief Mr. Joseph, former Commissioner of Police Mr. Osbert Regis, officers of the Fire Service, permanent secretaries, Director of Probation and Parole Mrs. Yolanda Louis, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and fellow recruits, I bid you a warm good afternoon. I want to recognize you, the graduates, in a special way. Indeed, it is your day, your moment to shine. I am also tasked to convey congratulations to you from the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, and our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Elizabeth Bailey. They both regret that they could not be here because of another pressing commitment. Have you ever thought about what a society without firefighters would look like? Anybody? I am sure the images going through your minds right now is nothing short of unsettling, even scary. Your reaction makes sense because the presence of firefighters in your community is tied to your sense of safety. The reason I pose this question is because sometimes when we begin to take our frontline workers for granted, or be it our correctional officers, or doctors and nurses, what we need to do is to pause a moment and ask ourselves, what would life be? Is there no one or undertaking up these duties? We simply would not be safe. So, let's look at another exercise. Let us try to think of at least 5 responsibilities that firefighters carry out, typically at work. I will put no one on the spot, so I will share my 5. Number 1, I have respond to emergencies. Number 2, drive the fire trucks and other emergency vehicles. Number 3, put out fires using hoses, fire extinguishers, and water pumps. Number 4, find and rescue occupants of burning buildings or other emergency situations. And finally, treat sick or injured people. I hope you came up with more than 5. Ladies and gentlemen, these 2 simple examples or exercises were able to establish that firefighters and emergency medical technicians, EMTs, are important to our sense of safety and security, and equally how they serve the community and citizenry. So let us keep up this utmost in our minds as we, the family and friends, and the ministry support them and inspire them to serve their community in a very challenging climate of increasing traumatic incidents, carnage, serious conflicts with the law. I want to recognize the officers who have been holding the fort and working tirelessly day and night. Your chief has made it clear that he wants to see a full-time counselor on board with the fire service to provide a level of professional mental health support when you need it. It is used to be that a counselor was kept on a needs basis, but again, given our present undesirable climate, the level of carnage our first responders have to be exposed to on a daily basis, we, the senior management level, did not hesitate to accept this as a legitimate request, and we are supportive of this initiative, and having endorsed it, we will support the process to ensure the desired end. We also have our strong assurances from our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, who is the Minister for National Security and Justice, that a concerted effort will be made to address the aging fleet and equipment of the fire service in the upcoming financial year and to upgrade working conditions to an acceptable level whilst the plan for the new headquarters continue to take shape. I know both our graduates and our seasoned firefighters are anxiously awaiting this project because that's the only way a number of issues will be resolved once and for all. I assure that it is a work in progress. It is quite consequential or maybe strategic that 13 female officers and 27 male will be newly assigned to various stations during the Christmas season, a total of 40 graduates. I must say, this stride towards gender balance at an opportune time, as we are also the ministry responsible for Division of Gender Affairs, so that we are proud that the fire service is moving in this strategic direction. To our newest responders on the block, I think by now the 21 weeks of training and the exposure you have received, you know that there are internal challenges in the workplace itself, that we will demand of you the very best. I remember our previous speaker, former COP, Mr. Regis. He demanded excellence, and I think it's only fitting that we too demand excellence of you. Your career is serious, and how it will impact your other relationships with others, mostly because important is your role. Not just for others, but you too have to recognize that and try to keep it healthy, disciplined, so that the job does not take a toll on you. Looking at the day, bright faces, sharp and crisp in uniform, you make us feel proud. Keep striving for excellence. Today is the beginning of a wonderful future in the service. Once again, congratulations, St. Lucia Fire Service Cohort of 2022. I thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Quinlan, Deputy Permanent Secretary. I know many persons must have taken little bits and pieces from your presentation, but a particular part keeps ringing in my ear, and I want to transfer that ringing on over to the ears of the powers that be. Firefighters work tirelessly, day and night, day and night. Mr. Victory and Mr. Downs, I see you're looking at us. Christmas not far away. We continue. And as we move on, we wish to acknowledge at this time the presence of the parliamentary representative, the Honorable Jeremiah Nobbert. He's with us at this time, and we are pleased that he could have been present. And so, sir, we say welcome and thank you for joining us. Many speakers have indicated the process that the recruits underwent, but it is always rewarding and refreshing to hear of their achievements. And we now move into this section of the ceremony, the awards presentation, where the outstanding members of this training course will be recognized for their various achievements. We will start off with the most disciplined recruit. Service, commitment, and devotion are three words that are forged in the minds and hearts of every firefighter. The realization of each, however, is solely dependent on one key component: discipline. And when we speak of discipline, we speak of time management, manners, respect, and the list goes on and on. The incoherent phase of training school provided some challenges that were new to the recruits, and many were pushed to the brink. One recruit, however, exhibited exemplary levels of discipline with unmatched consistency. Though soft-spoken, his deportment and resolve loudly projects service, commitment, and devotion. The most disciplined award for recruit initial course of 2022 goes to recruit firefighter number 10, Darren Daniel. And from the reaction of his colleagues, you can tell that it is well deserved. And to present the award to Darren, we call on the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Mr. Quinlan. PN 5738, you are blocking traffic. PN 5738, you are blocking traffic.
What's the next one? On the list? Most one? Okay, we will ask Mr. Quinlan to remain with us as we move into the recognition of the most improved recruit. Upon culmination of the recruitment course, the training staff acknowledges how far each recruit has come from the inception of this recruitment course in 2021 to now. All recruits improved tremendously. However, one recruit truly showed what it means to advance, develop, and upgrade by defying all odds, overcoming adversities, and displaying immense efforts in improving themselves and the people around them. With the marked improvement, this recruit became a pillar of inspiration to all other recruits. It gives me great pleasure to announce this year's most improved recruit, Recruit Firefighter 26, Carol McFarlane.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy PS. Thank you so much. We, at this time, want to beg the indulgence of the Honorable Parliamentary Representative to present our next award. This award is for the best practical. This recruit has a fitting middle name. In every activity, he always gave it everything, coughing and gasping for breath when done. During the 5 a.m. physical training sessions, his effort and cheering on could be heard. The proper form for exercises could be seen. Complete understanding of the firefighting drills was always on display, as this was his forte. And he was seen explaining to his crew what was needed. Through exhaustion and injuries, his performance did not waver. His competitive spirit dwarfed his comparatively small stature. Daily, he issued challenges, some still unanswered. This grit and physical prowess were quantified in the midterm and final assessments with scores of 100% and 98.5%. The award for best practical goes to the soldier, not the scout, Benero Max Wellington.
Right on them.
We didn't present certificates. Leave that for the chief officer. The certificates.
Yeah, we do leave
for the chief officer.
The future is here. Thank you, for a wonderful display of what you're actually being awarded for. We now look at the Best Turnout Award. The profession as a firefighter requires that a high level of cleanliness is maintained at all times. As part of this cleanliness and presentation, it was a requirement for all recruits to ensure that the shoes and belts were shown daily. One might think it is an easy task. However, it requires time, patience, and what we call elbow grease. Those of us in the paramilitary organizations would understand that. The recruits also had to ensure that their uniforms were well ironed and worn properly. Out of all the recruits, there is this one recruit that stood out daily on inspection days. This recruit ensured that his shoes and belt were shown to a point where the instructors could see their reflections and his uniform was properly worn. In other words, his shoes and belt looked like glass. And he was always looking sharp. The award for best turnout goes to recruit firefighter 03 Baptiste.
And as Mr. Baptiste makes his way up front, the parliamentary rep is eagerly awaiting to see his shoes and his belt. Congratulations, young man. Thank you so very much. Mr. Norbert, thank you so much. We invite the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Ms. Jenny Daniel, to assist us with the next two presentations. The next award is being presented for Best Theory. Training to become a firefighter is an intensive and physically demanding endeavor that sometimes results in aches and pains, which most of the recruits experience and recovered even stronger from. But becoming a well-rounded and competent firefighter also entails quite a bit of studies and continuous assessments to ensure that learning is taking place, and most were able to reach or exceed the preset pass mark. Not an easy feat when coupled with the exhaustion of the day's physical training and drills, and for this, they must be applauded. Although many were able to rise to the challenge, one particular recruit stood out as being a consistent high performer in theoretical aspects of firefighting. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me acknowledge this person's achievement. The Best Theory Award goes to Miss Demia Philip.
For 50 years. Thank you so much. We are to recognize. Well, before I do that, let me call on the Deputy Chief Fire Officer Acting, Mr. Dignitary Downs, to present the next award. And as much as we do not have a profile for this award, I want to, well, I'm actually honored to be able to improvise and to let you know why this individual is being recognized. It is for the valuable contribution as an instructor to training school. And it is always important when we look at senior firefighters and the contribution, not just on the job, but it speaks to someone who has ascended from being a firefighter and also moving on to instructing and to be able to develop the future for the St. Lucia Fire Service. And so he served as an instructor for some years, and I was also, I was able to recognize rather in the presence of the Deputy Chief Fire Officer when he pointed out to this individual that he was being missed at this current training of recruits. And so his contribution as an instructor, even not during this current training session, was valuable to ensure that we maintain a certain level of standard within the department, that recruits would understand what it means to graduate as a firefighter and then proceed onto not a job but a vocation, and to be able to continue that standard and to be able to elevate what the St. Lucia Fire Service represents. So this afternoon we recognize the efforts of our senior colleague and former training instructor. I'm not sure if it's going to be returned there at some point, Mr. Downs, but a valuable contribution as an instructor to training school. We call on Acting Sub-Officer 450, Dwayne Ferdinand.
Step forward a bit, Mr. Downs. The wrong one. Where's the other? Thank you so very much, Mr. Ferdinand. There's another gentleman we wish to recognize as well for valuable assistance to training school. The information being communicated to us is that this guy truly assisted in every possible way, as an IT man, as a maintenance guy, as a psychologist, as an EMT. Think of it, and he assisted training school in that regard. Kind sir, your token is still on the way, but nonetheless, we wish to recognize you, so please come forward. This individual is none other than Fireman 498 Collymore. 598, sorry, my apologies, 598 Collymore. You see? Oh, Mr. Collymore seemed to have stepped out. Well, not exactly stepped out. He's being used again. Well, in the right way. So thank you, Mr. Collymore. Thank you, Mr. Downs.
We're about to recognize the award for best turnout. Let me ask the former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Osbert Regis, to grace us with his presence. My apologies, it's the best all-round award. Throughout training school, it is expected that all recruits would maintain a high level of discipline, respect, and to demonstrate excellent deportment. Additionally, the recruits had to ensure that the theoretical, practical, and physical assessments were of good standing. Although the aforementioned requirements were expected from all the recruits, there is this one particular recruit who stood out from the others, or in familiar parlance, he was the cream of the crop, the best. This recruit, with his hard work and determination, achieved a high score in all three fields: theory, practical, and physical, which undoubtedly made him the best all-round recruit. This recruit is none other than Recruit Firefighter 233 Joseph.
And of course, parents, don't be afraid to make noise for your children, yeah? Show them the love and the appreciation. Mr. Regis, just bear for us a minute, please. Yes. Our final award here this afternoon is an instructor's award to one of the recruits. This candidate came in with his mind focused. He always showed good discipline and followed his instructor's advice. Out there, when it came to drills, he would ensure that he was exceptional, and he went as far as encouraging his friends to do the same. At the beginning of the course, a group of them with the same surname was tasked by the chief instructor when he said, and I quote, "That name you carry, that name you all carry is great. Put that back on the top of the board," unquote, which they did remarkably. I believe it is Kimo Kippin, the founder of Aloha Learning Advisors, who best describes this individual's mindset in the words, "This whole level of wholeness is a place where I am able to grow, to show up as a full human being with all my gifts to the table to be part of this organization. That leads to a great feeling of inclusiveness, because what it allows me then to do is to bring this real authentic self to the table, to really love the work I do." For the Instructor's Award, it is none other than the gentleman you just saw before you, Kwame Joseph. A round of applause for the young man once again, and thank you so very much, Mr. Regis. We also want to recognize the presence of the Minister of Health, the Honorable Moses Jabatis, in our presence here this afternoon. Thank you so very much, Mr. Jabatis, for gracing us with your presence. Mr. Victorin, our Chief Fire Officer Acting, please join us at the podium for the presentation of certificates to our graduating class, our recruits who will be transitioning into full firefighters in a very short time from now. Recruit Firefighter 08, Rahim Cheville. Okay. And recruit firefighter Sammy Felix. Recruit firefighter Shani James. Recruit firefighter Royal Santoma.
You took the Shani James.
Recruit firefighter Rondell Jantala. Recruit firefighter Collymore, 09 Collymore. Recruit firefighter Kwame Joseph. Recruit firefighter Orville Joseph. Recruit firefighter Shanola Samuel. Recruit Firefighter Sanjay Baptist. Recruit Firefighter Taj Felix. Recruit Firefighter Makesi François. Recruit Firefighter Lisa Tobier. Recruit Firefighter Ilan Noville. Recruit Firefighter Derrance Thomas. Recruit Firefighter Deltos Peter. Recruit Firefighter Sharika Stanislas. Recruit Firefighter Darren Daniel. Recruit Firefighter Damio Philip. Recruit Firefighter Christopher St. Catherine. Recruit Firefighter Carol McFarlane. Recruit Firefighter Naya Calix. Recruit Firefighter Michel Hippolyte. Amen, sister. Recruit Firefighter Miguel Walter. Recruit Firefighter Theo Poleon. Recruit Firefighter Tariq Clement. Recruit Firefighter Troy Asson. Recruit Firefighter Brent Joseph. Recruit Firefighter Bonero Max Wellington. Recruit Firefighter Fabio Lamontagne. Recruit Firefighter Rashad Nobal. Recruit Firefighter Delina Jean-Baptiste. Recruit Firefighter Jean-Pierre Prudent. Recruit Firefighter Hervian Henry. Recruit Firefighter Kirian Francis. Recruit Firefighter Kendall Charles. Recruit Firefighter Kenyatta Alexander. Recruit Firefighter Kerwin Caesar.
Yes, my boy, that's my son.
Recruit Firefighter Kevin Simon. And Recruit Firefighter Lena Jaria. Thank you so very much, Mr. Victorin. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give our recruits a rousing round of applause as we congratulate them all. Thank you so very much, ushers, assistants. At this time, the parade will reform, and this is where, ladies and gentlemen, you will witness the actual passing out, where with the blessings of those who have gone before them, the recruits will transition from recruit firefighters to actual firefighters. We ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation which is about to take place.
Of course, Mr. Jabatis, we can't overlook the fact that our recruits were able to show pride this afternoon in the receipt of their certificates and the expression of joy from the parents seated here this afternoon. Of course, this is a special day, but this is only the commencement of a journey which has much more lessons to be learned. The vocation of firefighting is not an easy one. It is one that takes a lot of energy. It is one that may even affect your actual mental health. And so I was proud when I heard the Deputy Permanent Secretary from the Department of Home Affairs saying that there is a commitment to ensure that the type of counseling needed when we do go out there to respond to certain emergencies, that the ministry, or the department rather, would look into putting into effect certain measures that would allow us to feel a lot more comfortable, a working environment that would be a lot more conducive for us. And so I am extremely proud this afternoon for this announcement. I'm also proud of what is about to happen. Again, a display of pride, precision, I would say close to perfection. What do you think, Mr. Jabatis?
That's yet to be seen, Mr. Felix. Nonetheless, it is worthy to anticipate. I especially look forward to seeing the new firefighters outshine the existing firefighters in their performance out there shortly. In that regard, we'll be looking for these absolute straight lines, keeping the timing with the beat of the music from the Royal St. Lucia Police Band. They keeping their uniformity and their deportment out there proving that the excellence still exists within the rank and file of the fire service?
Well, I'm choosing my team. I'm a team current firefighters, and so I'm obviously giving you team recruit firefighters. And so my bet is on senior firefighters outshining recruit firefighters. I don't know what the audience thinks. No? Recruit firefighters? I'm sticking with my team.
Mr. Felix, that's like hoping France will win Argentina tomorrow. But let's not go there.
And France is definitely beating Argentina tomorrow.
So again, good people, the parade is reforming. They're taking up their positions again as they get ready for the actual passing out. The passing out will be followed by the march pass in slow and quick timing. We'll be giving you some more information on that shortly. But we get set for the passing out.
You know, I'm already getting goosebumps, chills. I anticipate a display of great valor this afternoon. I anticipate that the police band themselves will be looking for the synchronization of movement with the music, hands, the steadfast and forward-looking of and heads of recruits and senior firefighters. You know, it is as I said earlier, you guys look good, and I really do mean that. I love the fact that you took time out to ensure that your uniform is spick and span, your shoes are shining, your caps are parallel to the ground, and so more than that, I'm looking forward to the actual synchronization with the music this afternoon. Give them a show.
Give them a show.
Let us see what you have.
Let us see what you have. We're getting set, getting into position. Of course, I can see my team is already upholding their side of that bargain. If you look at the blue and black versus the the black and red, you can see that there is already blue and black team. Just one person. I'm disappointed, but we're still winning.
Mr. Felix, stop wasting your time.
The black and red team, can I hear you?
Thank you so very much. Second in charge of taking up their positions to the front of the platoons. They will now hand over to the officer in charge of each individual. In doing so, they ensure complete guidance from the front and from the back as they get ready for the passing.
And this is where the assessment begins. Precision, poise, beauty, perfection.
What is actually happening at this very time is that the senior fire officers will take up the position of a guard of honor. Thereafter, they will give that grand salute with their axe, forming an arch, a pathway from recruitment into formation.
Yeah, guys, you need to take a good look. I'm actually impressed, Mr. Javasis. Again, you can see the synchronization of feet parallel to the ground. Hands at the sides. Heads and eyes forward. And if you take a close look, ladies and gentlemen, you will see the lining of caps. Parallel again to the ground, even the left turn which you just witnessed.
And the senior officers as well took up their positions in that gap, ensuring that these new individuals joining the rank and file of the St. Lucia Fire Service receive the blessings of all concerned.
Like a baptism. One to usher them into the department, and again, Mr. Jabas's team is about to put on their display.
My team, the recruits, soon to be firefighters, are being led by their instructors. And I urge you as proud parents that as they come through, as they exit, that
you welcome them with your rapturous applause and your roars of congratulations. Let them know that you are so pleased with what they are achieving here today as they look so smart and outstanding. Here they come, parents, your children, your wards, our new firefighters. No longer recruits, but firefighters.
In their own right.
Definitely a proud moment. And so I can anticipate the joy that's going to come beyond this baptism. Continue with the applause, ladies and gentlemen. Shane, I hope you're watching well. The first platoon has reassembled so sweetly, and here comes the second platoon. The men in black and red representing. Do not forget the women, Mr. Shabatis, as much as they're not my team, but we're supposed to be equal here, and so it's the men and the women looking sharp. And the guard of honor is about to be dismantled. And the platoons will reform.
again to continue the display of their perfection. And you will also witness senior officers, the chief, the deputy, and the rest of the rank and file of the senior management of the department exiting the guard of honor at this moment.
The platoons get ready for the march pass, which will be done first in slow time, followed by quick time. And of course, the senior officials will shortly be taking up their positions at the podium to receive the salute.
And as we continue to get ready for the march past, what you're witnessing, or what you just witnessed, is the actual passing out, where the recruits have now become firefighters. And as you can also witness, this is what the fire department is all about: teamwork,
togetherness, to ensure that the job gets done effectively and efficiently.
You know, Mr. Shabadis, I actually love the blend of the uniform colors with the environment, especially your team. Don't want to be biased here, but your black and red blending in with the green. It's really an amazing sight. Again, we are thankful to the Maycood Youth and Sports Council, the Maycood Constituency Council, for having us here today. And we're hoping that, again, you enjoyed this display of great beauty, synchronization. And so as again we get ready for the march pass, we're looking forward to another display of something memorable, something that would encourage the young ones here in Maycood to want to be part of this great and auspicious occasion, and maybe even firefighters.
Your team does not look too bad at this time, at this time. Now is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, where the entire parade will march past first in slow
and
time,
then in quick
and then
time,
in quick
and as
time,
they march past, they
and
will
as they
give
march past,
their
they will
salute
give
to the
their
officials who will
salute
take
to
up
the
their
officials
position
who will take up
at the
their
podium near the
at the
flag.
podium near the flag.
And this is where also we look and examine the synchronization, the timing, the strictness of those lines as the various platoons come through. Again, my money on our new firefighters.
And if you think that we don't have it in us as senior firefighters, I urge you to keep your eyes open as the men in blue and black display their prowess in putting out the fire that is started by the men in red and black.
Each platoon is going to be dressed individually by their supernumerary, ensuring that the lines are intact even before moving out. So that when they do start marching, they will be expected to keep those still very straight lines, without losing formation, timing, or direction. He already displayed brilliance. Give them a round of applause as they get ready for the match pass.
Alright, we'll match pass. In slow and quick time. And 22 pass interval. Number 1 platoon lead. Right. Match.
And the match pass begins. This is slow time. Keep a good eye out. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Cheer them on, the men in blue and black, the men and the women, that is. Presentation of the action by number 1 platoon. Number 2 platoon. So smoothly. And here they give the salute. Keep looking on, platoon number 3 approaches. The men in black and red, men and women that is, in black and red. So
another ARCS presentation. Synchronization, alignment. So the parade will march past again in quick time. What we just witnessed was slow time, and as they come around you will see the march past being done in quick time.
An outright testing of what they've learned. It was tested in slow time, now they will be tested in quick time as they come around again. Of course, they're still required to keep their formation, those straight lines, keep the timing, keep looking good.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you look, you will notice as they turn left turn, the arch assists in maintaining that alignment. Looking good.
Platoon number 3 is getting set to head our way. Don't these guys look absolutely amazing? Such straight lines, such timing, such uniformity, such precision.
Number 4 platoon again, display of alignment, and look at those heads looking to the right, saluting the troop fire officer. Final salute, but one of respect and recognition. togetherness. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the men and women of the St. Lucia Fire Service. And we get ready for our esteemed parade commander, acting divisional officer, John, who has marshaled his troops brilliantly here this afternoon.
And to this part of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please come to attention for the lowering of our flags. You may be seated because while the parade has been dismissed, our program is not done as yet. We now invite the graduating class, our new firefighters, to do their graduation song. And as they too exit, let's show some love to the members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Band doing a fabulous job with us here this afternoon. Thank you so very much, officers of the police band.
Of course, I wish to recognize the efforts put in by our the efforts and dedication put in by our senior firefighters. It took many a day off to be here, to practice and to get this right in order to witness the sort of display you got this afternoon. I make a plea to the senior management of the department for recognition and reward for the effort, the time, the energy put in. And so moving forward, senior officers in some way or another will be recognized for their efforts. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you now to witness the graduation song by the graduation class of recruit course number 25 of the St. Lucia Fire Service.
Let's remember who sent us, boys sent us. Boys sent us. The boys sent us, the girls starting in person.
Yeah, the boys sent us and the girls sent us.
Yeah, boys sent us, don't forget.
Okay, yeah. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're not moving it. Alright, so 2, 3.
No say we have to win, yeah. No say we have to win. All of the left and the east end. No say we have to win, yeah. No say we have to win.
DJ, drop it.
Put my arm around and show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a partial with no brakes. I'm invincible. And I lead every single day. I'm so powerful. I don't need my reason. I'm not confident.
I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. unstoppable today.
Yeah. Say we are coming with a force. Say we are Republic Coast. Sammy say, rise and pause. Hold it. We have to give thanks what we need is the most. We have to give thanks what we really supposed to be thankful. Later. Blessings fall on the right hand. We thank God we journey the earth is not just to the plus. Yeah. And gratitude is a must. A must. Blessings fall on the right hand. We're supposed to be friends of the time that we love and give to the world when we go with the road. Toast. Unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes. I'm invincible. Every single day, I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. And I'm unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes, I'm invincible, and I win every single day. I'm so powerful, I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident, yeah, and I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah. Unstoppable today. Come on, guys. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Let me go back, pick this up. Oh, the pump drill, go and change. Pump drill, go and change. So, after you change, after the instructor. We do have it? Oh,
Demonstration in the boot of that.
Okay, good people. You just had the new firefighters doing their graduation song.
So right now we're going to Quincy drill and into from there. Okay? And at first.
Maybe he can explain.
Yeah, they went to change. Okay, guys, good day. I'm RFF 29 Peter. I'm Firefighter 29 Peter. Correction. Okay, so what we're going to demonstrate today, we will show parade sense by doing a fancy drill, all right? It had to be longer, but time is of the essence, so we're going to make it a little short. So we're doing just a fancy drill. All right. Also, we'll have a short skit just demonstrating what recruits believe the instructors are saying during inspection. It's just a funny version of it. That's not actually what they're saying, all right? Also, we're going to go into pump drill. We're going to give a little of our experience at training school. So a funny version of that as well into the proper pump drill. All right? Thank you. Everybody there? 1 second, just waiting on one person. Gentlemen. Okay. Just the victim. Oh, it's okay. Leave it. Come. Fall out. The two of you, just fall out for now. The two of you fall out for now. You're going to do it and then you're. Okay, so there's a quick skip into the fancy drilling. Before the king. You can hold him out first. All right, no problem. Before the king. So then, what? The kings. Okay, then for now. It's okay.
Squad, son.
Saudi là, boy.
Malay. Tout bay do.
Merci, tout bay arrête pour les.
Aye. So, nous just can inspect you, so il a bien, so il a gardé bien, so là. So, just, for you on the mission, stay by. So.
Mo hawa bugla islak passe. Nai hene biboy. Okay, what you?
Women. But anyways, okay, just inspect you, like first afternoon. Yeah.
All right, so right now we're going to go into our fancy drilling. Thanks.
Dress in! Lead single run. Right, dress! High front! Lead single run to the right. Number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15! All numbers, one best forward. Even numbers, one best step back. March! Rocks, right and left, turn! On the front, sweep, left, right, forward. Up, never, turn. On the front, go, man. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, about, turn, left, right, left, right, left. Right, knee, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, knee, right, left, right. Right, left, right, good. Right and left, turn. Press it! In single run, right, press! Good eye, foot! Foot! Left, incline! Decline! Alright, so let's do that again. Forward, left, decline! Make it look good! Forward, right, decline! Officer, forward! East, beast!
I don't know about you, but I see a future in the St. Lucia Fire Service. I saw future instructors, I saw future precision drill competitors, and maybe that is something we need to bring back, Mr. Victory, in competition in precision drill. So,
we're absolutely proud of you, sir. I admire what it is that you guys displayed this afternoon and the rest of your team. So thank you very much.
Okay, so right now we will witness our bunker drills. So calling them on. So again, we'll have a short skit, a funny version. Well, also just giving a little bit of the experience we had over there into the proper pump drill.
have that?
Yeah, we'll do. So I'll try to hold
Somebody holding it? Okay.
Go to the quick skid, so just move.
No, we're not moving the bunker. We live in the bunker bottom.
Okay, well, it's okay. Just put your stuff. I cannot do my. That's okay. That's okay. Just put the jacket over there and the helmet.
Nom de kaye football bay set disi tout bay.
C'est
pour ça qu'il s'agit non. Hein? Et c'est pour ça qu'il s'agit faire rien pour faire nom comme nous.
Kasa bouk boan oui. Maman.
Bouk qui sort en terre, bouk qui cache cher bon tout qualité bay.
Kasa sou kwen.
One, two. All right. So at this point, we're going to witness the recruits.
There's a joke. Up boy. Squad shot. Is it gonna rank for the right number?
Collapse. 50. Make it nasty. You still like pump it together. Your brother's keeper.
Up everywhere. Inclusive 2 from the right number. 1, 2, 1, stop. Undercarriage fire. How many lanes? Undercarriage fire. Get to work!
2 branches? So, ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing the actual performance of what it looks like to get water from an appliance all the way to the front line on what we call the branch pipe.
And you're also witnessing the reality of it all. Very aged equipment needing to be replaced. But despite the challenges, firefighters always seem to find a way and rise above it all. So they will do their best and get that water to the scene of the fire and effectively put it out. Change direction, change direction. Knock off. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've just witnessed the demonstration by the new firefighters. They showed you both the jovial and the serious side of things. And also, as the good Lord up above would have it, you also witnessed that the fire department is in dire need of new equipment. Nonetheless, we continue and we get ready for the vote of thanks, our final act at the lectern before we bring our ceremony to an end here this afternoon. So it's time now for the graduation speech, which will be followed by the vote of thanks. And to deliver the graduation speech, we welcome Firefighter Lamontai.
Good afternoon to all. I'd like to adopt the protocol already established. I am honored to be standing before you today to represent my fellow brothers and sisters who have all strived to reach this milestone. December 6, 2021, a group of young individuals received confirmation on the commencement of a journey, which they were eagerly anticipating. A journey which we would soon come to realize is not as easy as the firefighters of St. Lucia make it seem to be.
we all completed an emergency medical technician program and became introduced to the crew level of the St. Lucia Fire Service until the commencement of our official firefighting training. The firefighters shared their experiences, each unique, but all shared a common denominator, and that was that training school was a challenge. We were urged to make use of the time we had before training school. We were urged to make use of the time we had before training commenced to improve our physical fitness. A few of us heeded those words, but nothing could prepare us for what to come. September 26, 2022, we assembled at the St. Lucia Fire Service Training School for the beginning of our 12-week training program. By the third day, many of us were unable to walk straight and could barely fall in for the next morning session. Every hour on the hour, we questioned this decision and contemplated on its end. Physical training began at 5 a.m. every morning and was scheduled to end 7 a.m. for the latest. But we soon learned that it never ended, as physical training was a staple for breakfast, for classroom sessions, and for dinner. Our Deputy Chief Fire Officer once told us prior to the course that the training program runs from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. It didn't make much sense to us at the time, but we quickly came to the realization of what he meant. We learned how to make our beds, shine our shoes and belts. We developed the discipline needed to ensure that we were cleanly shaven every morning, even though we believe that we would be much better looking firefighters with a face full of beard. When one person fell short of the standard, it then became a bad day for us and a fun day for the instructors. This eventually birthed a team-building spirit amongst us, which benefited us in all aspects, ranging from studying to firefighting training. We realized we needed every member to be effective, as all firefighting activities are done in teams. We were pushed way past our perceived limits, mentally, physically, and even emotionally at times. There were many days when we felt like giving up. We toiled through sleep deprivation, injuries, blood, sweat, and tears. On days when we were at our lowest, our training director, Mr. Prosper, somehow always had the most impeccable timing in delivering those motivational speeches, which fueled us in ways in which we are forever grateful. A powerful quote by Benjamin Franklin. Oh wait, I lost my train of thought. If better is possible, then good is not enough. Always kept us going. Our instructors often had to remind us that we will not die when we usually felt like we would. But after thousands of push-ups, miles and miles of left, right, pit cover Tuesdays, 2 for 1 special, and pike everywhere, we are here before you today in one piece. Well, some of us. Sorry, Sammy. Our instructors bestowed so much knowledge and wisdom on us in order to set a comprehensive foundation for the skills needed to function efficiently as a firefighter in the St. Lucia Fire Service. The imaginative and colorful ways that our lovely instructors motivated us to get here today. For example, collapse and give me a nasty, nasty 50. They humored us themselves in giving us names such as Boom Boom, Tingwes, Greasy, Ted Block, Birdie, and last, but certainly not least, the original SGT. The care and interest in our well-being was paramount. We are in debt to your efforts, and it will be paid back with the commitment, pride, hard work, and discipline, and all the other lovely words that the human resource officer can tell you used in the interview to get this job. My challenge to you, my fellow recruits, is to give back. Payback is what is owed to everyone here this afternoon, because they gave up so much to make sure that we ended up here today. My fellow recruits, I would like to take this moment to remind you of everything that we have sacrificed to be here as well. putting our lives on pause, sometimes at risk, and prioritizing our careers. We owe it to ourselves to maintain the standards and discipline instilled in us. Remember that you represent something so much more than yourselves. You represent family, friends, those seated all around you, and the country of St. Lucia. Every decision you make is not a decision about what to do. It's a decision about who you are. Remember that this milestone marks the start of the journey and that the top is reached by striving. On behalf of Recruit Initiation Class number 1 of 2022, this had been the most fun that we have ever had and that we absolutely never want to have again. I thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody. Can we make some noise for our firefighters? Make some noise. We deserve it. We worked very hard. So it's my privilege, guys, to do the vote of thanks on behalf of the graduating class of 2022. All right. This occasion is special in many ways. It is a revelation that we, the graduates, endured till the very end. And trust me, it was hard. It was really hard. Sometimes you felt like you wanted to quit, but our instructors kept our head up, and I appreciate them for that. Through hard work and personal discipline, they made sure we were disciplined right through. It is a well-known fact that that success is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failures. Allow me to begin by thanking our guests of honor. A special thank you to our invited guests for accepting our invitation and for making this event significant and memorable, including those attending virtually. Of course, we have GVD right here. He has this streaming for us live on many platforms right now, so persons from anywhere could see. So we thank you, GVD, for being here. Also, the media crew from the fire service, we thank you for being here as well. We also extend our gratitude to those who, I missed HTS. They've been there, so we're thanking them as well. We also extend our gratitude to those who have supported us in practical ways behind the scenes. Our instructors, make some noise for our instructors. They did a very good job. Our lecturing staff from EMS down to firefighting course. Make some noise for our lecturing staff. Our supportive family members and friends. Let me hear you make some noise. All right. Okay, and we have our cooks. Our cooks provide us with meals daily, and we are grateful. Special thanks to our sponsors for this generous support. We have our policemen. We're giving them a hearty thank you. Y'all heard this music, right? Make some noise for them, please. They did a very good job. All right. Last but not least. Hold on, before I do that. We have our graduating committee. This would not be possible without them. Can I make some noise for them, please? Job well done. This did not happen overnight. This was well planned. Last but not least, a huge congratulations and thank you to my fellow graduates for this momentous achievement. Guys, we worked hard. Can you stand up? Stand up, graduates. Stand up, please. And let me hear you say, fire! Fire! We made it! So hot. All right, this is the famous quote from Mr. George himself. All right, we cannot forget this one. All right, thank you guys for being here. Thank you each and everyone for showing up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much to the two individuals delivering the graduation speech and a vote of thanks. Mr. Felix, let me thank you for assisting me here this afternoon. As always, teamwork makes the dream work.
Definitely, Mr. Jubatis, and I also thank you for gracing me this afternoon with your presence.
And we appreciate everyone who was here this evening. We thank you for joining us today. We congratulate again the graduating class of 2022, and we ask that the Lord guides everybody safely home, and we look forward to welcoming you on the job. See you at work. Thank you.
Please note that a photo booth has been set up beneath the change facility for all persons wishing to capture the moment digitally. Additionally, there are persons here who tomorrow will be celebrating their 20th anniversary in the St. Lucia Fire Service. These individuals are from Firefighter 439 Alexander up to 464. You are requested to assemble at the photo booth for the opportunity. Congratulations to those of you who will be celebrating your 20th anniversary tomorrow.
All right. I did mention it was a hard course, right? We had this Hello? 1, 2? All right. Counselor. Our counselor did a very, very good job with us. Like I said, this job was just very hard. And it broke us down in many ways. And she kept us together along with our instructors. So, Miss Charles, we are thanking you. I didn't forget you, you know. I just wanted to make you special apart from the rest, you know. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you, Miss Charles. Can we make some noise for Miss Charles? She kept us together. Make some noise for Miss Charles. I thank you.
Please note our special invited guests. Our guests of honor, refreshments for you are being served in the open area at the primary school. So the invited guests, our guests of honor, you will be escorted to the primary school, the open area, by one of the ushers where you will be served refreshments.